Top 3 signs to look for if your relationship is becoming unhealthy. What a lot of people don't get is that they think a relationship becomes unhealthy or toxic overnight, or that there's one big break that finally undoes the relationship. One of the biggest mistakes that people and couples make is waiting for the relationship to feel catastrophic or like some big moment finally broke the relationship. But that's not how relationships actually work. It's small moments compounded over time that shift the relationship and slowly break and fracture it. That's why a lot of people, when they get divorced or break up, they say it took years for me to leave the relationship. Or they say it took me years to finally realize that things weren't good. Because that's how most things in nature, in life, and in relationships, this is how things really work. It's over time and small things that a lot of times we don't notice. So what I want to do with you today is show you the top 3 signs that, as a relationship researcher, as a couples coach, these are the signs that I look for and the patterns that I can spot early on in your relationship to tell you where it's headed and even predict how long it's going to take before your relationship truly falls apart. Now, one of the strongest predictors of a relationship and its healthiness is how connected is the couple? How well do they know each other? In the Gottman research, this is often called love mapping. In a healthy relationship, and in a relationship where couples are noticing that the health is starting to waver or starting to flatten or even not be so good, the first sign that we're looking for is how emotionally connected is the couple, but more specifically, how good is this couple at updating their information of each other? In the Gottman work and in the Gottman research, we call this love mapping. It's a couple's ability to create a map of each other, or in a fancy term, we call it ontology. To figure out what your partner's world is a skill set to update the information of who your partner is becoming, who they've been, and who they currently are is a skill. And one of the top skills that we're looking for in a healthy relationship is couples are regularly updating their maps of each other. What are your partner's fears, dreams, hopes, anxieties, best friends, family members that they're connected to or not connected to, and how is their world shifting? When a relationship begins to drift apart, one of the first things that goes out the window, or one of the first things that couples stop doing, is they stop updating their maps of each other. Sure, you know your partner's work schedule, or you know a lot of the fine details of their life, but you don't really know those deeper, more nuanced aspects of who they are, and you stop staying updated. And this is one of the biggest ways that I can tell what is the quality of their relationship. Is it declining or is it growing? Is it improving or is it decreasing in the intimacy? Feeling seen, considered, and appreciated and being known by somebody is key and tantamount to a great, healthy relationship. In an unhealthy relationship, people feel dismissed, criticized, invisible, not top of mind, and emotionally alone. And a love map is one of the first ways we can tell where a couple stands in the spectrum. Sign number 2, small problems become big problems very fast. If you've noticed this in your own relationship or that of others, where a couple is talking about a small thing and yet it's blown way out of proportion, it's because they have failed repair attempts or lack of repair. And what this really means is that they have an issue and then they just let time go by and then they come back together, but they don't really repair. They don't really check in about things. So it's sort of like love mapping, but in the space of conflict. In the space of conflict, they don't know how to come back. They don't know how to check in. They don't know how to create deep layers of attunement with each other around what happened in spaces of conflict. So on one hand, love mapping is the ability just to know who your partner is. On the other hand, love mapping in the space of conflict is the ability to repair. And what I mean by this is that if you can update who your partner is, especially in the areas of conflict, in the areas of challenge, then you can also reduce having conflict that turns into bigger things, because you know how to resolve, you know how to heal. And if you know how to do that, then you don't have these issues that are small, like the laundry, the dishes, something with the kids, something with the in-laws, something financially. They don't turn into bigger issues, or get blown out of proportion because you don't have that humming in the background where we had that unresolved issue last week or last month or repeatedly throughout the years. And so now we have one small thing, and one small thing turns into many things because we have so many things that are interrelated that we can't just talk about the dishes in isolation, or we can't just talk about you being late and how that's frustrating. Instead, we're talking about how you always fail me, or we're talking about something bigger because one thing is many things stacked on top of each other. Sign number 3, and this is the most critical one, quite closely related to number 2, but slightly different. And this sign is all about what state do you tend to exist in the relationship most often. In an unhealthy relationship, or a relationship that's slipping into strong states of toxicity or unhealthiness, couples will reflect that they feel like they're in a state of survival quite often. Instead of trying to get closer, they're generally managing conflict. They're more afraid of conflict or some sort of crash with each other instead of some sense of connection. In a healthy relationship, we want to connect. We want to get to know each other. In a relationship that's declining, we're a little bit uneasy about getting close because we're worried about conflict. We're a little uneasy to bring up things that happen because we're afraid of more escalation, more shutdown, more stonewalling. And so in an unhealthy relationship or a relationship in decline, couples will oftentimes reflect that they don't know how to get closer anymore because they're more worried about conflict than they are about closeness. In a relationship that's moving into a state of decline or toxicity and unhealthiness, couples will reflect that they don't feel emotionally safe, so they're generally in these survival states where they're hyperreactive, they're quick to defend, quick to explode, quick to criticize, quick to shut down, quick to get silent, and a lot more reserved when it comes to getting close. So they emotionally disappear with each other. They shut down, go numb, go quiet, or stonewall as an effort to protect themselves and even protect the relationship. Because I want to be with you, but I don't want to fight with you, so what option do I have? I shut down more, or I explode more because I'm upset and I want closeness, but I don't know how to do it without going into these states of survival. So the body is trying to survive because we perceive the relationship as a space of threat. Many couples in this stage spend more time trying to avoid the next fight than they do trying to get close. And that is why these relationships feel emotionally exhausting. They feel overwhelming. It's not because you're not building a life together. It's because you don't know how to do it anymore. You're just trying to survive the person that you live with, or you're trying to survive the now and trying to avoid more conflict. And all of these signs, there is good news though, because these signs are incredibly common even in healthy relationships. In healthy relationships and all relationships, there are seasons, there are moments. The goal is not to avoid having these conflicts or challenges. The goal is to, 1, acknowledge they exist, but 2, to notice when they're showing up. So if you start to feel like, I don't really know who my partner is, or I need to update my awareness or insights about who they are, you can send this video to your partner and tell them, hey, inside this video, there's a game. And that game is the love mapping game. Now, in our website, we've created an intimacy game that helps couples update their love maps of each other. Now, number 2, that second sign around conflict or repair, if you notice that you and your partner have been drifting apart and you don't know how to check in with each other, then you can name that when you share the video, that you feel like you and your partner have this pattern of not doing repair, but instead letting time be the thing that heals all wounds, but it doesn't. And maybe you've even noticed that you escalate quicker than you used to because you don't know how to do repair. Now, all of this is about a skill. It's about a focus. Even couples that are the best and most healthy couples, they show these signs, but the difference is they acknowledge it and they work to build a healthier, more durable relationship.